Thank you, Joe. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Augusta. Here in the CSRA, we reside on the lands of the Westo peoples, the Savannah Shawnee, and the Iuchi peoples of the Muskogee Confederacy. My name is Cheryl Martin. I'm your worship host for today. I use she, her pronouns, and I am happy to be co-creating this service with Josef, Patchen, our music director, our choir, the talented folks running the tech deck, all of you, whether you're here personally or attending via Zoom. And we have a special guest today who will be coming to us via Zoom. And I will manage awkward page turns. Our guest today, as I said, is coming to us from Zoom, is the soon-to-be Reverend Jekaren Olaoya, who was invited into ministerial fellowship by the Unitarian Universalist Association last Saturday. Jekaren hails from the vibrant city of Macon, Georgia, where she grew up surrounded by the comforting embrace of sweet tea and lively conversations about the region's infamous heat and humidity. Well, we can relate to that. From an early age, she found solace in embracing a world where love would be the guiding force. Miss Olaoya earned a Master's of Divinity in chaplaincy at Star King School for Ministry, where she discovered her passion for community chaplaincy and the transformative power of spiritual guidance through creativity. Her prior studies in nonprofit leadership and management at Arizona State University, along with a certification as a death and grief doula, prepared Jekaren for diverse roles for engaging people from all walks of life. She says, authenticity is my hallmark, fostering spaces where love and care of community interdependence. Okay, wait, what did I just say? Okay, I'm gonna start that over. Authenticity is my hallmark, fostering spaces where love and care thrive in community interactions. Whether you're here or in person again, I invite you to enter into this time of service.
Beloveds, I invite you to take in the warmth of the chalice on the screen as I light it or in front of you. And if you have your own chalice, please feel free to light it as well. And I share these words from Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto from their book, Spilling the Light. They say, to be free, you must embrace the breath of your own existence without apology, even if they try to take it from you. You must know, not that you can do whatever you want. You are not a kudzu vine, eating entire hillsides for the purpose of feeding your own lush life. You must know instead that inside you are entire universes, milky blue, magenta, and gold, expanding. But to actually be free, you must know and you must fight for the entire universes inside of everyone else. Being free is not a license, but a promise. To the people who have mistaken freedom for liberation, with thanks to Reverend Leela Singha.
Would you rise and body your spirit for our opening hymn, Dear Weaver of Our Life's Design? Let's sing our kids out to continue their faith formation.
We're going to keep this time of reflection and meditation just really super simple. Whether you're here in person or participating via Zoom, I invite you to sit in your seat comfortably and just relax and just breathe for a moment and just follow the chime into a moment of silence and reflection. Thank you, Joe. I invite you into this time where we give what we can with this reading. And I really like this because it does have the weaving metaphor in it, at least a little bit. This is The Basket Woven by Ma Teresa Tet Bustillo Gallardo. May we respond to the challenges of life with a beloved community who can be counted on as a woven basket that encompasses the gifts for protection, for honor, for ceremony, and for the expressions of interconnectedness. May we prevail in our intentions to make a gift of the world to the next generations of beings living and non-living that help it all come together for the good. With that being said, I now invite you to give what you can. And will the ushers please come forward? Thank you for your generosity.
If you've ever touched a woven fabric, you know that the intersections of thread, or how they are made strong and the fabric secure. If you don't know, the warp is the threads that are stretched into place on a loom. These threads are the foundation of the fabric. The weft are all the threads that are woven between the warp threads. Without the weft, there is no fabric. Weaving metaphors are often used in faith communities to describe community. As a matter of fact, I rewrote this sermon so many times, trying desperately not to repeat the same ideas over and over again. And the harder I tried, the harder it was to write. So I do what I always do. I went to YouTube and I watched a few weaving videos, hoping to be inspired in my extended fiber arts community. I mean, when I need inspiration, I turn to others who know more than me, who have done the thing or tell a story about an experience. I don't know nearly enough about anything to be an expert, and yet I rely on people I view as experts in their niche areas to teach me what they know. Sometimes I get to do the same, like when asked about what makes a country song country, the role of Black people in its history, and the patterns of crossover with other genres like rap and rock. I could probably write a dissertation on it and still have more to say. We all have gifts to offer. So as I watch these instructional videos, I was reminded of how hard weaving really is, especially when you get to those giant floor looms. I have this little tabletop loom that has never been used. When I first got it, I pulled up the manufacturer's website and I watched the assembly video and I assembled it. I was very proud of myself. And when I was ready for my first project, I watched the second video and I was so overwhelmed. It was a lot of work. The hardest part of weaving is the setup. Before you get to setting the warp, you have to measure and prep it, either on a separate warp board or on the back side of your table loom. If you want to make a scarf or something bigger than that square space, it's a must. And I won't even get into the process of feeding the warp threads through the heddles. If this sermon was only about weaving, I would show you the full instructional video, but we do not have an extra hour to watch it all. It takes time. You have to go slow. There may be tangles or snags. Well, not maybe, there will be tangles and snags. And it requires a lot of repetitive movements. But if you do, you will have a firm foundation for weaving. It is worth it to prepare, to experience the process as part of the product. There is no such thing as an easy weave, and the lowering and lifting of warp threads can change a pattern, making it even more complex. Oh, but the beauty. The skill brings a beauty that feels like magic. We do this every day, friends. We wake up and we exist in a base state of warp. We are enough. Our foundation is there for us. Sometimes there are wobbles, sometimes we are a little too tightly wound, but mostly we are exactly what we need to be. But alone, we are just threads, human. What makes us unique is that all the interactions and intersections in our lives, our identities, our joys, our sorrows, the people we love, the people we work harder to love, our mistakes. Those are all our wefts. Each and every one of us has woven a tapestry that is so complex, we can hardly believe that we created it. But we did, and we continue to do so. So sometimes it feels a little cheesy to talk about weaving and interdependence. I mean, I could have picked an easier example than what we are woven together in community, but we repeat it because we know this universal truth, that we are so entwined with each other, that we are strengthened together. I used to offer this paper weaving activity to students when I was an art teacher in Thailand. And there is nothing quite like the groans of high schoolers to get you excited about a new activity. I had them cut paper into strips. I didn't give them any directions on how many or how wide. I just instructed them to divide the strips into 2 piles. One pile I had them write down one thing that was chosen for them on each strip in their lives. And the other pile, they wrote the choices that they got to make for themselves. And after they were done, they were instructed to use the choices made for them as warp and their own choices as weft. As you can probably imagine, there was a lot of chaos. There were questions about what qualifies as a choice made for them, and they were still in high school. Their parents still made all of their choices. And could I just please give them a number of strips to make? Please, please, teacher, please. I swear I did not create this activity as a psychological experiment. I wanted them to think about how their choices made them who they are. Anyway, after some of the fears were expressed, you could hear a pin drop. You could hear scissors cutting paper and erasers rubbing out mistakes or changes. I didn't make them share the words that they wrote. I had them tape each weaving backwards on the wall so that we could only see the plain woven backside, mostly colors. Did I forget to mention that I didn't tell them how to weave it? The creativity was astounding. Some were a basic over-under. Some were made into woven shapes like hearts. Some were in beautiful ethnic Thai patterns. Placed side by side, my wall became a quilt. Each squarish shape was decorated. And also that was not part of the assignment, they just did it. And while they worked, I worked too. I created strips with their names and an affirmation. You are smart. You are kind. You are funny. You are thoughtful. On and on. I added them between each weave. The smiles, the rapid spoken Thai, they were pleased with themselves of what we all created together. And after that, the groans were less frequent. We weave every day. The warps we don't have so much control over. We have what we have and we make the best of it. But we really get to be creative with the wefts. When we choose to love in hard moments, the weft is woven in and out, back and forth. When we choose justice, when we choose compassion, when we choose grace, when we choose peace, we get to choose how we present ourselves to the world, how we are in relationships with each other. whether our mistakes define us or teach us a lesson. Every single thread counts. If we are lucky, when we get to the end of the warp, we already know what the fabric will be like that is neatly rolled, waiting to be cut off the loom and laid out. If we are intentional, we will know the flaws of our fabric, and we will know that that makes it unique, special. That our hard work, our dedication to progress over perfection makes the tapestry of our lives strong. Sometimes there will be holes or snags, and sometimes we will roll the fabric in an uneven way. Some events will get more attention than they deserve, some not enough. This is our first time in living, and we are learning to weave as we go, without the benefit of YouTube, I might add. And we only get one chance. There are rarely do-overs without some serious unraveling, if not caught soon enough. So I encourage you, over the next week, to think about what makes you, the people, the places, the things, the ideas, the values, the beliefs that make you who you are right now in this moment. The spaces that make your warp. And then I want you to think about who you want to be, who you hope to become, the hopes and visions for your present and future, your Weft. And finally, I want you to think about the places where they intersect. If you say that your relationship with your best friend makes you, and you want to be kinder, where might those two things intersect? Could you find a way to volunteer on a project with your best friend? Be kinder to them when you have a disagreement. It's not easy. Weaving love is a process. But remember, we create our reality every single day, and our intersections, whether within ourselves or with others, make us strong. We are made of warps, but we make our webs. Amen. Blessed be.
Today's closing words are from the Reverend Peter Rabel, and this is entitled Together. We build on foundations we did not lay. We warm ourselves by fires we did not light. We sit in the shade of trees we did not plant. We drink from wells we did not dig. We profit from persons we did not know. This is as it should be. Together, we are more than any one person could be. Together, we can build across the generations. Together, we can renew our hope and faith in the life that is yet to unfold. Together, we can heed the call to a ministry of care and justice. We are ever bound in community. May it always be so. Blessed be. Amen. Ashe.